Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Lamp. I'm your host, James Lampkin, and my guest today is the founder of Robinson Forge Fitness, Mr. Richard Robinson. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, bro.
Man, listen, it's great to catch up with my former classmate. We've been friends what since was it freshman year or was we
Freshman
friends in
year,
Key?
Key, um, yeah, because we was in the same classes. We had the university classes in Key. So, you from Bishop Heights, right?
Capital.
You from Colorado. You from where I'm from. Yeah,
Yeah, we're from the
that
same
was
city.
that was yeah, we were cool in Key, I believe.
Okay, I think so. So we go way back to like 92, 93, something like that.
92, 93, 12, 13. Yeah, man.
How's everything going, man?
Long time. Not bad, bro. I'm blessed, man. I can't really do too much complaining. Um, just out here just like everybody else trying to make a way. Still, you know. Um, so yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey with the fitness thing.
Man, first of all, congratulations on starting it.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's always been a passion of mine. But I just recently decided to really take it serious, really try to make a career out of it here within the last 6 months. So and it's been, like I said, a blessing, um, keeping me motivated and keeping me, striving toward a particular goal that will hopefully, change my life and the people around me and everybody I'm able to influence and affect with it.
When you said goal, is that a personal, like you care to share what the goal is, or
But yeah, I mean, the goal is, just like I would hope most people, is on financial freedom, um, to the point where, I can get out of my 9 to 5 and have more time because, I got a 9-year-old that, really requires a lot of my attention and I'm really trying to get to the point where, I can be around a lot more than I was, for my older sons.
what? How long have you actually been on your own personal fitness journey?
Shoot, I would probably say I started, what was that? It's been about a good 15 years. I even before I moved to Maryland, even before I had my kids, I mean it goes all the way back to when I was in the military, in the Marine Corps, was probably the first time I found that I could do such a thing, that I could get my body to a point where um, I was physically fit. Okay. Got out of the Marine Corps and kind of got away from it. And, um, you know, I, I moved to North Carolina and I moved to North Carolina, didn't really have a whole lot going on for me when I first moved here, with my with my oldest son's mother. And I just wanted to do something, you know, and I found fitness was a good outlet for me, something a personal thing that I could do on my own that I enjoy doing. Um, Even then, though, still I didn't take it a whole too seriously. It just was something to do. But I knew that I could do it, and I like doing it. So uh, I started out mainly it was hit work. I got really introduced to physical fitness doing hit high intensity interval training. I went maybe 10, 12 years before I even picked up a weight. So all I knew was hit training. And so, I dibbled and dabbled in it just as a hobby. And then eventually I tried to mix it with the nutrition, but that was a whole nother battle on its own. So while I was still while I still was working out, I really wasn't seeing results. So it was kind of hard for me to take it too seriously. It just was still something that I enjoyed doing as an outlet. Um, then, you know, recently, I had a life-changing event where um I broke up with my fiance, or well, she broke up with me, and it really sent me into a reflection period where I had to look in the mirror and really find some self-worth in myself, because it was really shattered at that point.
Mm.
Um, First thing I did was get myself right with God. So I definitely had to. That was the first step to get my faith right. And once I started getting into that, I started looking for answers, and I started praying a whole lot more, and I really didn't have anybody else to really listen to really talk to about it, but God. So um, eventually, over time, as I was processing and healing, through that situation, it kind of like came out the blue and hit me. Yo, you need to take your passion and try to make it a career and try to make it, you, all of you. So I took that word and applied it to my everyday life and, just started down this road.
Was it, you said you had, unfortunately, you experienced a breakup.
Yeah.
Um, did you experience depression along with that?
Oh yeah. 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 I was down. I was down for about a good 6 months. I mean, I didn't talk to nobody. Like I even friends, I have, friends that I still haven't even got back with as of today because I just had to totally shut it down. I had to shut it down. And yeah, I mean, going to work was, I just went to work just because I didn't want to sit in the house, but I definitely wasn't performing, you know. It was
Wow.
all I thought about 24/7. It was rough. Yeah, I definitely would say that I definitely went through a state of depression. Um, yeah, man, I had never experienced, I had never experienced a breakup before like this. I had never been really impacted like this.
Mm.
My whole life, I know people. I've broke up with women before, and women have broken. Not too many women broken up with me. Not in that fashion. Not that I can remember. I mean, but I hadn't had nothing like this since elementary school, since Nicole Lee in sixth grade. It was wild. And
It
yeah, but yeah, it definitely took some getting back to.
it sounds like your fitness journey almost was more mental health than physical.
Man, it was super therapeutic, bro. Super therapeutic because it was the only thing that was working for me. And I just did that 24/7. Went to work, went to the gym, came home. Went to work, went to the gym, came home. And I tell anybody, and that's part of, my coaching. Like the gym can be super therapeutic for anybody. I mean, I've been times where I've been in the gym and doing some sort of floor exercise and just start crying, you
Mm.
know, but nobody notices. Nobody knows it. Nobody sees it. Nobody's really paying attention to you like that. And for all they know, you just sweating or you just had a real hard workout and you're sore, that kind of thing. I get it out and then feel immediately better and go on to my next set. So, um, yeah, you get a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to let out a lot of aggression, and really it's really a place where you definitely can you know uh let loose and really get your mind right.
From this is like and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. I think this is probably the best shape you've ever been in physically. Am I correct?
Uh Probably. Like I said, there was when I was in the Marine Corps. When I was in the Marine Corps, but they kind of did that. You know, they
Yeah.
fed me, they sent me on these drills, they put me out in the heat. Um, it was something that was kind of manufactured, something that just happened throughout that process, but I really didn't have a whole lot of control over. This is the first time that, I took control of it and I did it on my own terms. Um, and so I would probably say, yeah, as far as, but I never took no measurements back there, so it's really hard to say. Plus I was younger, so there may be some disadvantages to being older as far as being in shape and trying to compare myself from then to now. But yeah, I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm healthy.
How
I'm
long did it get you?
kind
How
of
long did it
healthy.
take you to get the diet part right?
Well, listen, not too long, man. I already knew what to do. Like, a lot of people know what to do. You can go to the internet and find out what to do. It's just a matter of doing it. It's the discipline and the dedication to really to going out and just doing it. I knew that okay, if I really want to get serious about nutrition, and get my body to where I want it to be, a trainer, um, I know I gotta count calories. I
Mhm.
gotta, you gotta take accountability for what you're putting in your body. So, I started counting I figured out where I wanted to go, where what my goal was. I think when I first started this, I probably was like around 210, 215. Um my goal, because according to the National Institute of Health, uh, for my height, and my age, I needed to be at like 178 to be um what they call physically fit at my age and my height. And I had to get, I think, below 21% body fat. And at the time I was at like 25.
Okay.
So I looked at those numbers and I said, okay, so I need to get below 25% body fat and then to get to 178. All right. Well, I know the gym. I already know the gym part. I already know that. I already know what to do there. It's just a matter of getting my nutrition together. So, I looked into, a diet plan that would work for me. Because I had already tried some things before. I've done the intermittent fasting. I know that that works also. I tried that a couple years ago and I had great results. Uh, so I just, went through the process of counting my calories, making sure eating protein. Um, I even did I did a lot of intermittent fasting. Sometimes I would do uh once every 2 weeks. I would do a Sunday where I didn't eat at all, put my body into chemotosis, and then go out and work out while my body was in
Mm.
ketosis. And yeah, it didn't take long, man. It didn't take long before I started seeing results. Once I started seeing results, I knew that this was working, and I just stuck with it.
Okay. Man, that's I remember at one point that you did drink and smoke. Did you quit or you still?
Nah, I definitely gave up. I mean, not know that I didn't quit, but yes, I ain't gonna say I quit, but when I was going through that process, I cut it out. I definitely cut out alcohol because I knew alcohol. Yeah, that's not gonna work when you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
It slows down the loss of body fat. It's just negative in every shape, form, or fashion as far as trying to lose weight. So, you know, that wasn't too hard. I mean, I wasn't, you know, alcoholic now. I didn't really get it in like that.
Hmm.
I pretty much, drank by myself. I, buy a bottle and then, but it'll last me like a week, at
Okay.
least. But I did drink, I did, even when I was with, when I was with my fiance, we drunk on a daily basis. So, uh, but no, once I figured out that I'm gonna have to do this, I didn't have a problem giving up alcohol. Now, at the point I'm at now, yeah, I'll have a glass of wine from time to time, a low calorie beer here and there. But when you're trying to, do what I'm trying to do and get to the level I'm trying to get at, you definitely have to curb the alcohol. It's definitely one of my top three things I coach as far as first thing you need to start doing as far as getting your nutrition right.
Man, I'm gonna ask you this. Recently we've lost like a couple classmates, and then we see unfortunately people having a lot of health issues. Now we in our 40s. How big of a motivation has that been for you?
I was going to mention right before um the breakup, um, one of my best friends passed away. My man Nate. He didn't go to school with us. He was older, but I met him at McDonald's. I know when we was in high school, I worked at McDonald's,
Oh, I remember
right?
that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I had a manager. His name was Nate, and he was maybe like he was only like 2 years older than me. And immediately when I started working there, we hit it off, and we became very great friends to this day. And he passed of cancer back in last October, at the end of October. His
Mm,
birthday is November 4th, and he passed like the last week of October. And again, something I had never experienced before. I had yes, we've had classmates die.
hmm
I've even had family members pass, but I've never had nobody this close to me in my heart and my mind pass on me. And it was so unexpected. The man was like 48 and he was in great health.
mm,
Nate worked out, Nate ate right, and he got cancer and it took him out like that. I knew he had cancer, then I found out he got cancer. He had cancer at somebody else's funeral, another funeral, of a classmate of ours. Um and I found out he had cancer then, and then a couple months later he was gone.
mm.
And that, you know, yeah, that made me realize I'm like, if it can happen to him, it can happen to any of us.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do everything I can, because you don't know what can take you out these days. But if there's something you can do to help it, to prolong it, prolong the longevity of your lifespan, taking care of your body is, the first thing I thought of. Okay, then start taking care of our body.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we've had some people go out here very young, and yes, it's definitely had an impact on my motivation as far as my fitness journey. Absolutely.
Let's get into the coaching aspect. What gave you the confidence to know you could do that?
Well, listen, because I've been doing it a long time. Ever since I've been in the workforce, since I was 15 years old, at some point in time, at any job I was at, I made manager usually. So I've been managing people since I was 15 years old. Even in the military, uh, I was in charge of squads. I've had leadership opportunities in the military, and which gave me the tools to coach and manage people. Now, I'm not saying now, of course, you can't take the military the way you did in the military and take it out into the real world. Necessary that you know exactly like that. You got to conform,
Hmm.
to the public. So I've had a lot of practice at it. Is basically what I'm saying. My I just always have been told I had a knack for inspiration, for inspiring people. And it's not nothing special that I do. It's probably more about my personality. Because anybody who knows me, who's ever had dealings with me, would probably tell you how blunt that I am, how straightforward that I am. I really don't beat around the bush too much. And and especially if I care about you, I'm not going to waste time BSing you. I'm going to tell you straight up. If you talking to me, if you asking me, if you asking my opinion, or you trying to get advice to me, I'm going to tell you straight up. So, um, as far as coaching, and then as far as coaching physical fitness, because it's a passion for mine. I don't know how. I can't say how if I'm good or not. I mean, the results will ultimately, speak for themselves. What I can tell you is that I have a passion for it. I want to be good at it. I want to be great at it. So if I'm struggling in some aspect of it, I'm going to find a new, better avenue, a better way to get it done. So because I have a passion for it, I'm going to try my hand at it and, see how it goes. But like I said, I've had results in other sectors of my life as far as managing and coaching people. So it was kind of like a no-brainer, I thought.
Is it because you offer online? Is it harder to do online? Because let's be honest, like physical training, one-on-one coaching, that's a lot. It feels like that experience is a lot better at coach, in person, but you're doing more online.
hmm
So, like, what you find is the biggest challenge with that?
The biggest challenge online I would probably say would be holding people accountable. Because that's definitely part of the process as far as the coaching online is making sure that people report back what they're actually doing. Um,
Mhm.
when I look at when I send out your meal plan and send it back to me, I gotta really be confident that you ate this amount of calories. That you didn't. Um, take in this much fat, that you're sending me the right macros.
Mhm.
And then when I look on my app and I see that you didn't do a workout that you were scheduled to do, um, and then talking to you about it and then finding out real reason why you didn't do it. So I think the whole accountability part is probably the hardest aspect. But um, you know, you just got to keep talking to them. You just got to keep coaching and helping them understand how um what happens in the misstep. And it's okay to miss some steps. It's okay to miss a workout, just as long as you recognize it and understand that you may have to go harder the next day. Um, as far as your nutrition, if you slacked off on your nutrition this day, if you had a cheat day on this day, okay, let's make sure that we get that back this week while we're also training a little bit harder. So yeah, I think the accountability part is probably the hardest.
Did I hear you say that you have an app to track when they work out?
Oh yeah. Um
Oh,
yeah, I work through the Everfit app.
how does that work? How does it work?
Okay, well it's an app that I have as a coach. Yeah, once I sign a client up, I can send them the link to the app and they would sign in as one of my clients. And once I get them in as a client, then um, I get their measurements. We talk about their goals, what they're trying to do, what their motivations are, and I can track. And then once I figure out what you want to do, what your goals is, then we devise a plan. Okay, based off what you like to eat and where you're trying to go with your weight. And then I can put together the proper um, workout depending on your a couple of different variations. Like I said, your goals and your fitness level. Okay, if you're a beginner, we're going to start off in with beginner workouts, a beginner workout. Then we also have intermediate, which would be more of not, let's say, more of a novice um, client that has some experience in um, physical fitness, just you know just don't have the motivation. It's a lot of different aspects that you take into account when putting a client profile together. But once we get that profile together, yeah, I can we put together a plan and I can track, when you do those workouts because you got to do the workouts to your app.
So you the one that actually designed the workouts.
Oh yeah. hmm
How long does that take?
Well, right now I got, because I'm just starting out, only have a few different workouts. I mean, I got like a few clients that I put together workouts based off where they want to go and what they're trying to do. Um, but when I initially started devising the workouts, um, depending on the client, I usually do like a 2 week process, and I probably could put together a 2 week plan in a day, is in a
Okay.
day. Yeah, it's not too hard. Um, because I already have the workouts in the system. Now, setting up the app, that took a little while as far as the different packages and the different workout plans for particular settings or particular goals for particular clients. That took a little while. But once, I want know what you want to do is pretty much plug and play.
One of the things you told me is before we started recording, you said you have to know the person's why.
Right.
Explain the reasoning for that.
Well, most of the clients that I get or the people that I talk to are relatively around our age, maybe a little younger, maybe slightly older. All right. So once you've gotten to this point, once you've made a decision to uh take this journey, um, it requires a lot of discipline and sacrifice. So, and it's an investment, okay? Because living healthy ain't cheap. It's not in America. It's not cheap. So, it is an investment and a lot of time and sacrifice. So, I just, I gotta figure out like, are you going to stick with this? So, what is motivating you? Why do you want to do this? Why now? You know, um, and a lot of people sometimes they don't know that why. All right. And sometimes we gotta talk it out and figure it out. And that's where the consultations come into mind. Because they have a why. If you thinking about doing this, if you have one, you just need to really answer it and really face it. No matter how shallow or how deep it may be, you have a why. Let's figure it out. Let's put something on the vision board and make a plan to get to it. So yeah, I like that's part of the coaching process to figure out, make sure that you have a goal that you want to reach and why you want to reach it if it's important enough.
You've been really like really heavy into it with the training and all that stuff. I would say about a year now. What keeps you focused? Like what keeps you disciplined?
um I'm trying, I know what it is. I'm just trying to figure out how to word it. I need this to work, bro. I need this to work. Um Because again, I'm not trying to work for somebody else for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Um, my mind got broke a few years ago. Okay. Um, even back, when I was telling you, when I was explaining to you, coming along this journey, how I didn't really take it that serious and didn't really look at it as a career, even though it was probably one of the only few passions that I have. And the reason why I didn't, because I was settled into my 9 to 5 career. I had I was making a 6 figure salary. I was good. And then I shortly learned that when you work for somebody else, just as much as they have the faucet on, they can cut it off
Mm.
anytime.
Yeah.
And that's and when that happened to me, um, it was like a switch went off. That's when I realized I was like, okay, this is not the way to go. Maybe, and I'm not saying that working for somebody is that it is anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. And that's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. That's all I knew for a long time. But once I realized something else, I saw something else, and I started reading. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that book, and that broke my mind. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And once I got that knowledge, um, I realized, okay, I need to get out here. I need to try something. I need to take some risks. I need to get out here and try to make it on my own and at least have something. Even if I don't ever get out my 9 to 5, at least I have something else to fall back on. So um yeah, the motivation is like I stated off the break. I mean, financial freedom and peace and happiness and being able to spend time with my kids, with my family, build a family, and I'm I'm so far off from that right now. I have nowhere else to go but up.
Mm.
Uh, so um, I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. I should have been made this move. So it's all that I think about is making a success out of my passion and helping people. Because at the end of the day, for real, I could do this for free. To be honest with you, I can do this for free. That's how big the passion is. I've done some things, what I'm saying, for free. Okay. On this journey. Just out of the sheer will to just help somebody, just get people bodies moving, just to get them to see that they can do it. A lot of this is about people just don't believe that it's for them, that this could happen for them, that that they could have, that they can do what they think they can.
Mm.
And all it takes is to try it. And a lot of people just won't even try and attempt it. So, and that's why I come in, that's why I like to come into play and just if it's just an introduction. Just show somebody, hey, you can do this and you can feel much better and you can look much better. And once you see that for yourself, then, my job is halfway done.
How often do you work out?
Well, I am about 4 to 5 days a week, um, with my 9 to 5. Yeah, 4 to 5. Four at the least, five usually max. It's usually 4 to 5.
Do you have a set time when you work out or
Man, my schedule is so um it's different, bro. I have a rotating schedule, a 3 week rotating schedule at work.
mm,
Um so and with everything that I'm trying to do, everything I got going on with the kids and everything, it's kind of hard to say I have a set schedule.
okay.
Unless I get out of my 9 to 5, it's probably not gonna be a set schedule. What I do is I plan it out a week at a time, based
Oh,
off
okay.
any activities or any other commitments that I may have. outside of work. But it's definitely 95% of the time it's after work. So I usually get off work at 7 o'clock, and I'm usually at the gym by 7:30, 7:45, and I'm usually in there until about 10 o'clock.
You there for 2 hours?
8:45,
Oh, you
seven
said
forty-five.
8:25.
No, 7:45 to usually 9:45, 10 o'clock. But that includes stretching, going to the sauna usually. Now, if I don't go to the sauna or anything, sometimes I do have to skip the cool down. It might be like an hour and a half total, total time. But usually my workouts usually like 60 to 80 minutes, to be
Oh
honest with
wow.
you.
Okay.
60 to 80 minutes. And that's part of my brand. I'm not the one to be in the gym working out for 2 hours.
Okay.
I come from an era where, we got stuff to do. I've been a 9 to 5 guy my whole life. So I know what that life is like. I, that's who I cater to. The people who got to get it in before they got to go pick the kids up. People got to get it in before dinner has to be ready. Um, those who trying to get it in on the hour that they have on the weekends in between their kids. Now my workouts are set up to get in, get out of the gym,
Oh, okay.
no doubt. Um, and that's why I specialize in a lot of hit work. You can get a lot done in a little bit of time,
Mm.
doing high intensity interval training. Now, yeah, is it going to hurt a little bit for that 30 to 45 minutes? A little bit more, maybe. Um, but it's going to be over quicker than sitting in the gym for 2 hours trying to get the same results.
What about your sleep? You get good sleep?
While sleep is definitely important, doing my training when I first started this, when I was trying to lose the weight and get to where I needed to be at, I did try to get um, a standard 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Um, and I definitely coach, hey, get to sleep. But consistently, I probably say for myself right now, it's a little bit tough getting that consistent 7 to 8 hours, working 12-hour shifts. Uh, so I don't get the sleep I would want to, but I try to, I definitely try to prioritize it a lot more than I have in the past when I do have um, downtime to definitely try to get some sleep in. So while it is part of my training and my coaching, um, another thing that's a little tough getting sleep, but it is very very important as far as um your physical health.
Okay. What do you say to people who want to lose weight totally for vanity reasons? How you feel about
Feel great. I, I ain't mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. That's hey, tell me your why. Hey, I want to look good in my clothes. Let's do it. I'm all for it.
that?
I mean, that's definitely a motivating factor. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't
Yeah.
want to look good? You know what I mean? Um, that's definitely one of my motivators. So I can't judge somebody else for having, being, you know, for having that goal. I mean, it's a realistic. It's a good one. To be honest with you, in my opinion.
I want to end it with this. What could the clients expect to get from you with Robinson Fitness Forge?
Yeah. Um, you're going to get a structured, um, focused, uh, process-oriented um, training, as well as accountability. Um, I'm going to be there for you, and I want to figure out. you're gonna get the passion that I bring towards my own fitness goals. So whatever your goals are, I'm going to do everything I can to get you there. But the way we're going to do it is going to be structured. Um, so there's going to have to be a lot of accountability involved. Um, I'm going to teach you form and some processes that will ultimately get you to where you want to be. Um, so yeah, you're going to get a super high level of commitment out of Robinson Forge Fitness to reaching whatever fitness goals you need or you desire.
Hey, listen, man, I really appreciate you doing this because I know your time is limited. So I thank you for doing this. Also, man, congratulations, man. I tell you all the time, you look great. This is the best I've seen you look in years. Like I can tell, like you moving different, eating different. So it's good to
Yeah, no
see
doubt.
like your hard work paying off, brother. You look great, and I hope you continue the hard work. And I wish you all the best with the business.
Absolutely, man. And thank you so much, man. Thanks for having me. And again, I've been watching you do your thing for a while now. I'm super proud of you and with you everything you got going on. And it was an absolute this was a goal of mine. This was actually a goal of mine too to get on the lamp to get the podcast in with lamp and again man congratulations to you and much success um on your future endeavors as well, sir.
I appreciate you, bro. Before we end, and make sure we tell the people like how they can follow you and how they can get in touch with you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You can hit the website at robinsonforgefitness.com. I'm on Instagram at Robinson Forge, Facebook at Robinson Forge, at TikTok, Robinson Forge.
All right. Again, thanks, man. And I appreciate you and wish you all the best.
Appreciate you, bro. You
All
take
right.
it easy.
Definitely. I want to take the time to thank everyone for listening to the Wild Podcast and watching. I truly appreciate your support. You can follow me on Instagram at conversations underscore with underscore Lant. My Facebook is also Conversations with Lant. You can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. You can watch the podcast on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, thank you all for listening. Have a great day.